Hello and welcome to Out of the Darkroom on Adorama TV. I'm Ruth Medjber, and joining me on the show today, I have one of Ireland's youngest fashion photographers, Aaron Hurley. Aaron, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. You are definitely the youngest interviewee I've had on the show. So listen, why don't you start by telling us how you got into photography?
Okay, so it's kind of a weird story because, when I was growing up, my mum always had a 35mm like point and shoot in her hand. I'd say she documented my entire childhood and was like back and forth to the camera shop getting everything printed because she's not one of those people that can like just look at things on a phone. She prints everything. Cool. So I think in the back of my mind that was always there. But I was obviously on front of the camera when she was taking photos of me, and from then I was always like, oh, do you know what, I'd love to be a TV presenter or something like that. I always wanted to do something in entertainment. And then I was lucky enough when I was in TY, my English teacher was really close to me and she kind of helped me along with things, and she was like, I'm going to get you into RT for your work experience. So I was like, dream in RT and working away there, and then I realised, I actually want to be behind the camera. It's too interesting to leave.
Yeah.
So when I was behind the camera then in RT, it worked out really well, and the school, when I came back, they were like, will you kind of put together like a montage of TY of the year, because I had a little camera myself, so I was like filming things and clipping them all together to make like a little montage for like the graduation video. And when I was doing that, I was taking photos of my friends at the same time and like uploading them to Facebook. The albums would be like 60 images for 1 week. It was insane, just taking photos, and they were in school, so they looked the same every day, but I was just obsessed with taking photos of people. And then I Googled how to become a photographer, and it said, and assist another photographer. What a gas, like Googling. Because if you think about it, 20 years ago, somebody couldn't have Googled that.
I couldn't have Googled how to become a photographer, but I guess people can do that these days. So is that it? You literally just went from taking pictures in school, working in a television station and part-time through college or through school, and then Googling?
How to become. So it said assist another photographer. So there was, I assisted a couple of fashion photographers in Dublin, and I did a wedding photographer for commercial work, and I assisted or like a high-end advertising photographer as well. And just kind of, I only did that for about 6 months, and then off the back of that, people were starting to book me, and I was kind of sending my images to agencies. I was like, please, I'd love to test with some of your girls, and they were like, absolutely, come on in for a chat. So photographed some of the girls, and it kind of just snowballed from then.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you were out assisting all these different types of photographers, were you like shooting as well?
So with one of the photographers, the fashion photographer, she was really kind, and she would give me her second body and was like, take a couple of shots there and see what it's like. Or under her beauty lighting setup, she'd be like, take a photograph of that model there and, put it in your book. You never know, it might be useful. So she was really very helpful to me. But the other photographers, I was like making cups of tea on set. Yeah. Like sent to the shop, will you run and get Vicky's? I was like, bro, this is a great life.
Yeah. I suppose, but you do have to kind of take that.
Absolutely. I was like, it was a dream to be even on set with them. I loved it, every minute of it. It's only now that I say, I'm like, oh my God, I was making tea on set.
So how long ago was that?
That would have been 3 years ago.
3 years. So you've gone from practically not like having any reputation to this. Now you're shooting stuff for like Michael Kors and H&M and Urban Decay and massive brands. You said it snowballed for you.
Yeah, it was insane.
And you didn't have any kind of formal education or training, you were just assisting?
No, so I was just assisting, and then if I came across an issue, I would always just Google it or work it out myself. So I was always like working different things, so I'd have my friends over to the house, like trying out different lighting setups and stuff like that. So they were very helpful and supportive of that. But it was, through school, like I missed so much school because I was assisting or doing my own shoots. It was insane.
So you missed out on actual school?
Oh, I didn't even do my mocks. I was at Fashion Week for my mocks.
Didn't do your like exams because you were at Fashion Week?
Yeah.
How did like your parents or your school feel about that?
My mom was very supportive throughout everything. She was like, go for it, this is what you want to do. The school at the beginning were very like, he's missing a lot of school now, this is getting a bit much. But then they kind of came around to the idea. There was apparently like a big meeting in the school with all my teachers. They were like, Aaron is doing this. If he's late to school, just let him be. He's doing his best, but this is something that he wants to pursue, so leave him at it kind of thing.
What is it about fashion that you love?
It's like, I love the fashion side of it, but it's more so the people. I love, get on really well with the models and the team on set, but it's just, I think, it's like I know what looks good under fashion, so I know how the clothes are supposed to sit and I understand what looks right under what light, but I wouldn't be the type of person that would be sitting up all night looking through the magazines looking at the clothes. to get me. So I'm not in it for the clothes at all. I'm more so like the girls and the people that are on set.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's more like the structure and the overall kind of setting of it.
It's not the fashion that I'm...
It's not the clothes at all. Wow, that's cool.
But I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand the clothes, and when I'm at Fashion Week, I know what to photograph because I know what's going to land. But I wouldn't be...
So that's not your drive, it's not the clothes.
Yeah,
that's
cool. I don't go mad with my clothes. I wear I always have a uniform. I wear a jumper and jeans every day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Because it's just I'll wear a different jumper every day, but I don't go mad buying the next Burberry trench. It just doesn't do it for me.
Wow, that's cool. Tell us then about Fashion Week. Tell us what's it like to get booked and shoot Fashion Week, and who are you shooting for, and what's it all like?
Yeah, so my first season, I actually hadn't a clue. So I went over on my own, and I was working for an online British magazine. And it would have been a small little magazine. They wouldn't get many shows or anything like that, but just to be there was incredible. Yeah. But I got very overwhelmed the first time I walked into Somerset House. That's where it was based back then. And it was insane. Just the people dressing up in ridiculous clothes to get photographed, and all they did was walk around in circles waiting, landing in every single online magazine that they could. And it was only the second season that I shot that I was going over and shooting backstage at the shows and everything like that.
Yeah. Is there a big difference then in the whole year between when you started and now that you're doing it?
Hugely. I've shot 6 seasons of Fashion Week now and 2 menswear, and I'm always backstage now, and it's fun, but it's very stressful. You'd be shooting back to back maybe 10 or 15 shows. You have to be there obviously for the call time for hair and makeup because you have to get your beauty looks. So that's 2 hours before the show starts. And then you shoot the first looks and then you leave. I don't even get a chance to see the rest of the looks because they kick all the photographers out then because we have to run to the next show.
So there's a whole line of photographers shooting this?
Oh, there could be 30 or 40 photographers backstage. We're all killing it for the same shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew.
They'll have photographers with coming in with huge octo boxes that are ridiculous, and then I have my tiny little lighting setup where it's just a little speed light on top of my camera, and that's my style for backstage. But people have 4 assistants backstage or a ridiculous lighting setup. They'd have loads of aluminium foil going around. Wow. It's insane.
So you're a little bit more low key. You go in and
I like to bop around, and I get on obviously because I'm the same age as the models. I get on with them really well, so I can get not cooler shots than the other photographers because obviously they can get cool shots too, but I can chat to them and
probably a lot more informal, relaxed,
absolutely.
easygoing, approachable shots. Cool. And then do you do a lot of networking then at these events? So
backstage, no, because none of the photographers will talk to you because they're all shooting for different publications.
Yeah.
They will actually come up to me and pull up my accreditation and go, "Who are you shooting for? You shouldn't be here." Because obviously I'm so young, because they're usually about 50 or 60 years old.
Yeah.
The Vogue runway photographer would be backstage, they'd have Harper's Bazaar, it's just insane. And if they're not there, they will hold the show.
Really?
Yeah, they won't set the show until they're there.
Because so-and-so isn't there.
Yeah, and you hear it on the intercoms between the PRs and they're like, "Yeah, Vogue runway has arrived." And they're like, "Grand, we can go ahead now."
Oh, wow.
It's actually exciting. When you're there, you're like, "Oh my God, it's insane."
You're standing next to this world-class photographer for,
And he kicking you out of the way so you don't get the shot.
And do you think that happens to you a lot when they're pulling up your accreditation? Is it just they're basing it on your youthful good looks that you're so young and they're just who's this kid?
I think so, yeah. They have because they're much older than me. There would be the odd 20 or 30-year-old photographer, but usually they're older.
So tell us then, when you're back shooting editorials and advertorials and things, do you think your age will go against you if you're up against maybe 50-year-old experienced photographers?
At the beginning I thought it's going to be very tough to break in, but at the same time I think in Ireland they're very good for embracing young talent.
Cool.
But there's always the more classic clients that are no, he's too young, we can't do that. But people will follow other people's footsteps. So once a big brand kind of takes a chance on you and gives you the opportunity to shoot for them, then everyone else oh, they must be good.
Yeah.
We'll shoot them.
Yeah, so if you handled that campaign, you must be able to do ours.
That's kind of the mindset they have.
Yeah, and as well then, your work should really speak for itself as well. It's not as if it's a picture of you they're judging.
My agent was take down your age offline, take down photos of yourself on your website. I used to have a big spiel, the way people would have a bio. I have none of that now because people can kind of have preconceived ideas about who you are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's very, structured. It's very well thought out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have my age there. That's great.
Because I'd be afraid I could lose out of jobs.
Oh, wow. So you have an agent then advising you?
Yeah, so Andrea Roach represents me here in Dublin.
Wow, so this just takes a lot of hassle out of it, I suppose, does it? It kind of frees up your time to do the shoots rather than invoicing and things like that.
Invoicing, emailing, you know, like when you have production meetings, it can all go through her and stuff like that, so it's great.
And then in terms of your own kind of marketing, I suppose I should put it, do you do your own social media and things like that?
Yeah, so I take care of all my own social media. I used to have a Facebook page and all that jazz, but I've cut those down just to an Instagram and a Twitter because I think they're the easiest ones to kind of get your voice out and connect with who you want to be connected to.
Yeah, I suppose for a visual artist it would be just definitely Instagram because people are looking for you.
Absolutely. And I think Instagram has been really helpful with my career because people can find me through that. And if I really want to shoot for this brand and I know who the PR is, I'll be like, I'll follow them now and just give them a few likes and hope they'll have a look.
Hi, just so I'm here.
It's absolutely, that's the way to do it.
Well, that's all we have for this episode, but make sure to subscribe to the Adorama YouTube channel because I'm going to be back chatting with Aaron some more next time. And if you'd like to brush up on your own photography skills, then check out the Adorama Learning Centre. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.